You've probably heard your MAGA friends say something like this over and over again, that under Biden, the border was wide open. That sounds like a factual claim, but it isn't. Hi, I'm Nate Charles, and welcome back to the Rule of Law Brief. When most people hear open border, they picture something very specific. No barriers, no law enforcement presence whatsoever, just people walking across the border freely while Border Patrol stands there doing nothing. That is the image that the phrase creates, and that's intentional. But here's the reality. Saying that the border was wide open under Biden is not just an oversimplification, it's a distortion, an intentional distortion. It leads people to believe that there was no enforcement at all, and that is simply not true. There are people making this argument who understand the underlying policy issues. And when they say open border, they're using it as a rhetorical device. They're pointing to a basket of policies that they disagree with: inefficiencies in asylum processing, releasing people into the U.S. population pending hearings, and especially the number of border encounters. And they're right about one thing. The encounter numbers were high under Biden and Harris. But here's where those arguments break down. A border encounter does not mean that somebody got into the country unchecked. It actually means the opposite. It means they were intercepted by Border Patrol or some other law enforcement agency. They were brought into the system and they were processed using U.S. immigration law. Now, did that system always function perfectly? Clearly not. But for that matter, are those people always afforded full due process in the way that it's supposed to be under the Constitution? Also, no. And both of those things are real problems that require real policy discussions. But that is not what people are being told. The people within the MAGA world are not hearing a nuanced policy argument. They are hearing something much simpler: that the border was basically wide open, that people could just walk in and no one was stopping them. That's the belief that this language creates. And that's the problem. Because whether intentional or not, the way that argument is framed leads people to believe something that is factually wrong. At least within the modern history of the United States, the border has never been open. Certainly not under Biden and Harris. The real issue is that the immigration system designed to control people moving through the border was getting overwhelmed. And when any system is overwhelmed, you get outcomes that people don't like: release into the U.S. population pending hearings, long backlogs in immigration courts, and inconsistent law enforcement. Those are real problems, but they are not the same thing as no law enforcement and an open border. Now, for those of you who want to actually understand what happens to somebody who becomes one of these encounter statistics, what a credible fear interview is like, why some people are released, and how the asylum system actually works, I'm going to break that down in a separate video. But for now, understand this: those individuals are not just disappearing into the country unchecked. They are in a system. They are being processed, and there is a legal framework in place to determine whether they qualify for relief or removal. But please, 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 when you hear the phrase open border, understand that that is not an accurate description. It is a rhetorical device. It is a narrative, and there's cause to believe that it is designed to deceive.